Hi everyone, welcome back to The Soulful Cook, where I share with you some of my favorite healthy plant-based recipes. So street food is extremely popular in India. You'll find it on every corner and every street, and people always lined up for it. It's one of my favorite parts of when I go back and visit. Today we will be making one of India's most beloved street food, Papdi Chaat, which is kind of like the Indian version of nachos. It's layered with crispy chips, yogurt, potatoes, chickpeas, and mouth-watering chutneys. It's extremely addictive, and today we're gonna actually make it vegan and healthy without any oil and without any sugar. If you want the detailed version of this recipe, head over to my blog at TheSoulfulCook.com. All right, let's cook something healthy. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make the papdi, which is the crispy chips. And here's everything you're gonna need to make that dough. We'll start off with 1 cup of wheat flour, 2 tablespoons of semolina, salt to taste, one tablespoon of carom seeds. I'm just going to give that a rough mix to make sure everything is combined. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of water at a time until it forms a soft dough. You don't want it too tight, but you don't want it too soft either. And then we're just going to set that aside and let it rest for about 20 to 25 minutes. So after we've let the dough rest for some time, I'm just going to take off about 1/4 of it and lightly flour my surface. And then I'm going to make a thin disc, kind of like making a roti. You don't have to worry about making it a perfect round circle because we're just going to be cutting out of it anyway. You don't want to make it too thick. I think about 1 inch thick would probably be best. So now I'm just taking something sharp to give me that round shape. If you have a cookie cutter, that works as well. And I'm just going to cut out all the shapes. So now I'm going to just pierce the small little discs with a fork. And you don't need to put oil on the tray at all. They can just go on there as is. We're going to bake it at 375 for 13 minutes. Next thing we're going to make is the chutneys. Here's everything you're going to need for the tamarind and date chutney. First thing you want to do is you're going to take your tamarind and you want to soak that in water. So I'm just transferring that to a small pitcher and filling it up with water, probably around 2 cups of water just to be safe. So now I'm just going to take a medium saucepan and add 1 cup of water and bring that to a boil. Once it's come to a boil, I'm going to add my pitted dates. And I'm going to add in the tamarind that's been soaking in water. And you want to make sure you include that water as well. And then I'm going to mix that and bring that to a simmer. And you want to keep it simmering until the dates are soft and you can mush it with the back of your spoon. Once it's done, we're going to add in our agave syrup. This is really going to bring in the sweetness. Tamarind date chutney is a very sweet and sour chutney. So since we're not using any sugar, agave will help bring out the sweetness. We're going to add half a teaspoon of garam masala, half a teaspoon of ginger powder, and half a teaspoon of red chili powder. And just mix that, and you want to bring that to a simmer and let it simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes. After it's been simmering for a few minutes, you want to remove it from heat and let it cool down completely. Once it's cooled down completely, we're going to transfer that to our blender. I'm using my Vitamix, and you want to blend that until everything is nice and smooth. So once it's done blending, we're going to begin the straining process. Now, this process is very long and it requires a lot of patience because you have to strain a little bit of the chutney at a time, but it's probably one of the most important steps. You want to make sure you strain it thoroughly. This will help make sure the chutney consistency is absolutely perfect. So just keep straining until all of it is done. And you should have a chutney that looks like this. Not too thin, not too thick. If it's too thin, then you can thicken it up by putting it back on the stove for a few minutes. If it's too thick, then you can add a little bit of water at a time to thin it out. So now that our chutney is done, we're going to start making our potato and chickpea mixture. And here's everything you're going to need. We're going to take our boiled potatoes, and just using our clean hands, we're just going to mash that roughly. You don't want to mash it completely into a smooth texture. You want little bits of rough pieces in there. Then we're going to add our cooked chickpeas, our chopped onions, you can use red or white, our chopped jalapeno pepper, some fresh cilantro, coriander powder, chaat masala, garam masala, red chili powder if you want to make it spicy, and some salt to taste. And again, using our clean hands, we're just going to mix that and make sure everything is well combined. Alright, so final step is to assemble your chaat. So first layer is going to be the crispy chips or the papdi. Then I'm going to top it with some dairy-free yogurt. There's no right or way wrong of how you want to layer this. It's just however your preference is. Then I'm going to go in with some of the potato and chickpea mixture. Be very generous with the amount you put. This is the bulk of the chaat. So then I'm just going to go in with my coriander mint chutney. I'll put the link above for where you can find the recipe for this chutney. And then I'm going to go in with my tamarind date chutney and put a generous amount of that. And then I'm going to go back and add some more yogurt. Add some chopped onions. And finally, top it up with some more chutney, both the coriander mint and the tamarind date. Both those chutneys together make the most amazing combination. And there it is, you're ready to eat. And there you have it, a healthier and vegan version of India's favorite Papdi Chaat. If you're looking for more healthy plant-based recipes, head over to my blog at TheSoulfulCook.com. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.